I'm Chad. Welcome to another Common Good Cocktail Guide. Today, we will be looking at shaking your cocktail. And I want to give a caveat right at the very beginning. There have been books written on this subject. People spend literally years of their lives learning how to perfect certain types of shaking techniques. My goal in this short video is to teach you at home how to shake a cocktail, hopefully learn just how to do it well enough so that you could shake a cocktail like we shake it here, maybe learn how to improve your own technique and to get to that next level to make your cocktails at home a little bit better. So let's get down to it. First of all, tools. I highly recommend having a shaking tin set, large, small, put together and you shake. There are shaking tins out there that have a cap to it. If you have that, that's fine. I do recommend getting a very tall and long one. The point of this is the very point of shaking. So when we shake a cocktail, we're trying to accomplish three things. We're trying to chill the cocktail, we're trying to integrate water, and we're trying to aerate the cocktail. So when I put my ice in a stirring vessel and I stir the cocktail, the water from the ice gets pulled very slowly in a controlled way into the cocktail. When I shake it, that ice is breaking up, ideally. More surface area of the ice is exposed to the cocktail, and so water is getting in at a much more rapid pace. It's chilling much more quickly, so we want to make sure, if we're whatever vessel that we're using, that we are aiming for both sides, top and bottom. Okay, that being said, let's talk about a couple more basic things. The amount of ice to put in a cocktail. For me, a good measure is going to be in these tins, a full one of these scoops, or I want to have it up to the top of the bottom side. Once I have that and my liquid in, and so if I'm making a cocktail at home, my rule, and honestly probably most good bars you'll ever come across, I'm not going to shake a cocktail unless it has citrus in it. And the reason being what we talked about earlier. Citrus-based cocktails actually want water in there. Think about lemonade or limeade. If you just put lemon juice and sugar and drink it straight, it's gonna be gross. But if you add a good amount of water to that, it's gonna taste delicious. But if you put that same amount of water in, let's say, just an old fashioned, it's gonna taste very watered down. It's gonna taste like you're in Wisconsin. Just kidding, I love you, Wisconsin. To shake your cocktail, we want to put in anywhere between 1 and just north of 1.5 fluid ounces of water into the cocktail. The amount of time that you want to shake this for is going to be between 20-45 seconds. You get much longer than that, the amount of water you're pulling from the ice is sort of going to decrease, but you're going to have other things, like you're gonna aerate it more. There's other things that you can accomplish, but you might also end up watering it down. So be careful of that. The type of ice to use is also worth noting. For me, we have this really nice 1.25 cubic inch ice cube called a cold draft. It's nice. You might have chipped ice at home. You might have just smaller ice cubes out of molds. It's fine. Whatever you use, the larger ice you have in your shake, the more aeration you're going to achieve in it. So, with a top and bottom shaker, this is a Corico brand, and they're designed, if I just simply press in around 45 degrees angle, it should have a nice seal on it. One of my biggest pet peeves, and the best way to break your shaker, is when people take two shakers and hit them together, or you try to seal it by hitting your bar top, your countertop. Please don't do that, you'll break your shaker. You'll help the seal never really seal proper again in the future. So all it needs is a firm press. If I'm beginning shaking, I'm gonna put one hand on the top, one hand on the bottom. If I'm really comfortable with my grip, I'm gonna have two fingers at the top, 2 fingers at the bottom, and my thumb also on the bottom. 2 fingers, 2 fingers. For our purposes, let's just have one hand on top, one hand on bottom. Now the actual shake. It's also tricky and not tricky at all. When it comes to things like the Japanese hard shake, my advice to you is to know that your body is going to be different than mine. Different sexes are also going to have different body type. So shaking a cocktail is gonna be unique to your particular body, the way it's gonna work best. So remember, what we're trying to achieve is have a shake that is fast and hard enough to break up the ice inside. And so however that's gonna work best for your body. For me, when I'm shaking, if I'm shaking with two hands, I try to have a circular motion and I hit the ice with both sides like that. So in sort of more real time, it's gonna look like this. I know for left-handed people, it often works best to have your right hand closest to you, but keep in mind you wanna shake in the direction that your shaker is pointed. So if I'm shaking away from me, I don't want to have the shaker like this. If I'm shaking up and down, I don't want to have the shaker like this. You can hear already in the shake, there are chips of ice floating around in there. That is what you want to achieve. Another technique to show that is a favorite among some of our bartenders here is to have two targets that you try to hit. That helps you sort of create a rhythm. So once you have that done, you'll notice the tin frosts up. It's one way you know that it's done. To break the seal on it, I often move the tin around in a circle. And then another way to know that you've done it right is as you strain the cocktail out of the larger tin, if you have a fine mesh strainer, you'll notice that ice shards will be caught in there. If you don't have those ice shards caught in your strainer, like so, then you haven't shook hard enough. Any questions? Just kidding, this isn't a live video. If you do have any questions, feel free to email us at cheers@cgcocktails.com.